morning, everybody. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I do, and a little bit of life thrown in. So I made it, you guys. It is my FlossTube number 51. It is Sunday, June 28th, and today is my 1 year FlossTube anniversary. FlossTube anniversary. 1 year on FlossTube. I started my channel last year on June 28th, which was a Saturday last year, and I have done a video almost every week. I think I missed 2 weeks, one because I was very sick and when I was out of town on vacation. And I've done a bunch of extra videos, demo videos, all kinds of stuff. So I want to say thank you so much to all of you who are watching, all of you who have subscribed. If you are new to my channel, then please, I hope that you like what you see and want to do the like and subscribe thing. And for all of you who are returning viewers, you guys have made my life so wonderful this past year. Aside from what's going on in the world, I know I have this steadiness of FlossTube and the people who watch me and comment and make me feel great every week. So when I was like kind of doing notes and stuff for this video, I realized that being 1 year old on FlossTube is kind of like, and I started stitching just a few months before I actually started doing my FlossTube. So I am now like a toddler in the year, in the world of cross stitch, and I spent my first year, or a little bit more than a year, learning and doing all kinds of new things, all kinds of firsts. So I thought I would kind of just share that with you when I was like reflecting back, all of the things that I have done for the first time or attempted, you know, and you guys can see just how far I've come. So as far as fabrics, I've worked on 14, 16, 18 count Aida, 22 count Hardanger. I did do a 28 count linen. I did linen for the first time on this project right here. My little mermaid that I then put in this like really cool glitter frame. I have worked on 28 count even weave over 2, and I've worked on 25 count even weave 2 over 1 10th stitch, and I've also worked on 28 count even weave 1 over 1. So I've done a lot in the whole range of fabrics, and I found that I pretty much like everything. The linen that I worked on was a little bit slubby. It was not as fine a linen. So I have yet to work on a really nice quality linen, which I will be doing in August when I do Night Walk Down. But I pretty much like everything, and I have different moods for everything as far as fabric. So that's kind of cool. I've worked with DMC. I've started to use overdyed flosses, mostly Gentle Arts and Threadworks or Needle Necessities is really what I have, because I have older flosses, but they're Threadworks now. I have worked with specialty flosses, all kinds of different ones, from Rainbow Gallery and Kreinik and Corone and all different companies. And I have worked with silk now. I haven't worked on silk yet on a regular cross stitch project, but I've worked with silk on monocanvas using for counted canvas projects, and then my line of Judah was kind of a combo. It was cross stitch, but it was also some specialty flosses, and it was done on monocanvas. So I have worked with silk this year. Let's see. I did one punch needle project to try it out, and I liked it. It was fun. I have another pattern to do eventually. That was this one. I have discovered counted canvas. Anybody who has been watching me regularly lately knows that I have been pretty pretty obsessed with that lately. I think I'm pretty much gonna have at least one counter canvas piece in my current whips now, because I dropped a pillow. Knocked everything over. Anyway, counting canvas, I really like it. So yeah, so I'm gonna continue to work on counting canvas pieces. And let's see what else. I have designed one full pattern. It's this Tikkun Olam, which I did offer to anybody who would like it. I will send it to you. This is a Hebrew phrase. I'm not sure if it's Hebrew or Yiddish, but it means repairing the world, basically. It's a philosophy of repairing the world, which ranges from being ecologically conscious, you know, being green, all the way to being charitable, and it totally ties in with all of the protests, Black Lives Matter and Pride and all those things that where we may see faults in our society and in our world. Tikkun Olam is doing what you can to repair them. So I designed this pattern, and this is my first little pillow that I did too. Let's see. So I designed that pattern. I kind of designed this. I don't know if this is so much as a pattern as just a technique that I did to do my Kintsugi project. And this is a Japanese sort of philosophy that started with pottery but kind of expanded to a philosophy in total that that items and people are more beautiful for the flaws and the damage that they have sustained, because once you've gone through that, you're stronger and you're more beautiful. So I did this project. This is actually done with 3 different pieces of fabric that were stitched together before I stitched the project. And then let's see, I learned how to dye fabrics. You guys know that. I have a video on it if you are interested in using my technique with the pickle jar. And you'll see some of the fabrics later. That's it. That's a spoiler. And I got over 1,100 subscribers so far. That's pretty cool. I feel like I have so many new friends who I haven't met. A few I have met, which is great. Most who I haven't met, but that doesn't matter. I still can count so many people as friends in this community, and that is just, you know, part of the whole reason that I started doing this. So that subscriber count is really important to me. And let's see, I learned how to use my sewing machine, which when I started this, I didn't even have a sewing machine. And then once I started FlossTube, I just thought I need to get a sewing machine, so I got one. And then it took me quite a while to actually pull it out of the box and use it the first time, but I did it. And I will not say that I'm a great sewist. Not at all. And I don't actually really like it that much, but I do know how to do it, and I can use it to help me do finishing pillows and such, and I'm proud of that. And I made project bags with it and pillows, so yeah. And I learned how to pin a piece for framing. I watched a tutorial, a kitten stitcher tutorial that's probably like 3 years old, but it showed me how to do it, and it was fairly easy to do. And I did that, and I framed my own right there. That is a Nora Corbett piece that I did last year for my Black Cat birthday style. So I probably have left stuff out, but as you can see, it's been a really full year, and I've attempted all kinds of new things and new techniques, and in the world of needle arts, and yeah, my life, I think, is enriched because of it, so I'm really happy about that. I have to give a huge big shout out and thank you to my friend Dawn from Arizona. She's the lady that I met up with last year when I went and actually did a trip to Arizona, and she was a subscriber, and she contacted me and said, hey, you want to go to lunch, because, you know, I live where you're going to be. She sent me a gift card, a 1-2-3 Stitch gift card, last week as a, you know, anniversary present. or FlossTube anniversary present, which was completely unexpected, unnecessary, but oh my gosh, so appreciated. So I'm really excited to have that sitting there at 1, 2, 3 stitch, and I just need to decide how I'm going to use it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until I'm ready to start one of the garden, Canted Canvas Garden Series patterns. And I don't know which one I'm going to start first. I have spring all kitted up, but I did get the other 3 patterns, and these are from Nancy's Needles, but they're out of print. And I just think they're adorable patterns, and but they will require kitting up because they have Mill Hill Treasures in them, and they have a few specialty flosses along with the DMC. So even though they're teeny tiny little things, they're pretty intricate as to what is required to do them. So I think that when I go to kit up my first one, that's where Dawn's going to help me out. So I just have to say a big thank you, Dawn. The fact that you would even care about me enough to send me a gift like that, oh, it's wonderful. And I can't even say how appreciative I am. Okay, so that was a long list. The first thing I kind of wanted to show you guys this week, I mentioned this last week, but since we're kind of going into summer and fall, I keep my projects all kind of kitted up right here on my work table, which butts up against my daybed, so I can reach it from either side. But it's getting kind of full, and I decided that I would pull a few of the patterns that are probably, I'm not going to work on them maybe until January. They're like more spring type patterns, and so I figured I'd pull them out, put them away. I'm not abandoning them. I'm just not going to be working on them until probably around January. And I pull out the 2 patterns that I had set aside in the winter because I wasn't going to work on them. So I want to show you before I change them out. I just wanted to show you the patterns that are getting put away, and then the patterns that are coming back out to play. Okay, so I'm going to be putting away, and these are like my 3, they're more springy floral type things. Spring Fling, this is a cutie. Oops, got it upside down. So this is the picture, and I'm sure you guys have all seen this. There's a companion piece. Well, actually there's 2. There's a snowman one, and then there's the Gone Baddie. But that's how far I've gotten on this so far. So maybe a third of the way done. So this one's gonna go and hibernate for a little while, and then it'll come back in January when I'm looking forward to spring again. And ouch. Okay, and this one is another sort of floral, really pretty one. This is Mouth of the Flower by Octavio Ocampo. I love this pattern. This is actually one of the first things I got when I first started cross stitching and was like browsing around on 1, 2, 3 Stitch. And it's funny because I've never seen anybody else on their floss tubes stitch it. Not that that necessarily means anything, but I just think that it's kind of an unknown thing. So I just have a start on the first flower bud on this one. But I think it's going to go away for now, and then when I pull it back out, then I will be excited to work on it again. And then the third one that is going to say goodbye for a while is Sweet William. This is a Riola's kit. Gorgeous. Gorgeous colors. These, I say this every time, these flosses are not cotton. They're a blend of acrylic and wool. And they are a little bit different to stitch with. Not worse, but just different. But they are extremely vibrant. So this is how much I have done on this one. And this one is really fun to stitch on. So I'm sure when I pull it out again, I'm going to be really anxious to get back into those really rich colors. Okay, so those are the 3 that are going to go hibernate for a while. And then the 2 that I'm pulling out are To Everything There Is a Season. This is a chart that I got on eBay, again, very soon after I started cross stitching. I was actually looking specifically for something with this verse on it. This is an older pattern. It's from 1994, and it amazes me because it's handwritten symbols. I started this one kind of in homage to my dad because he loved that phrase, the verse. He loved the song by the Birds, and this is on a piece of Blue Dynasty, 14 count Blue Dynasty that I got off of eBay. And that's how far I got before I put it away last year. So I just got I think this is the summer chart. And about halfway through the top, not quite. So I'm excited to pull this one out and start working on it again. So you guys will soon see progress on it, I'm sure. And this one is, I kitted it up with just a bunch of floss from my stash. I have this whole big list of like the conversions I did, and because when I kitted it up, I didn't have as big of a stash of DMC, so I used everything that I had and just pulled from wherever to, you know, and I just made notes, and I have all of the flosses in here. So anyway, this one's going to be, it's a really meaningful piece for me. And the last one that I pulled out, this is All Hallows Eve by Glendon Place. This is just one of those patterns that I saw it and I just had to have it. I just loved it. I think I love the fact that it's got kind of that play on the song, the 12 Days of Christmas. But since I don't stitch Christmas, but I always liked that song. So the fact that it's kind of in a Halloween format, I really liked. I've used this kind of as a test piece for starting specialty flosses before I got more into stuff, and I've worked on a bunch of different stuff now with a bunch of different flosses, but when I first started this, I hadn't really done anything. So I used Whisper on this. I used, so far I got the first 3 sections, I guess. I got the moon, and then the witch, and then I did the werewolf, and now I'm working on the snake. But I used glow-in-the-dark thread in the moon. There's Whisper in the wolf. I've got some like satiny floss that is being used in the snake, which I had never used before, although I've used it now. And yeah, so I have all kinds of like specialty things that I want to throw in here. But I just love this pattern. Go into place. Okay. And now my floofy kitty bag, which I had spring fling in when I put this one away, which didn't make any sense. Now it makes sense again because it's holding the gun in place like it's supposed to. Okay. So let me set all this stuff aside. Okay. Alright. Okay. So as far as my stitching for the week, sorry, I think I just kicked this, so okay. I did have a finish. I finished July of the Year Celebrations by Hands on Design. as usual, when I finish one of those, I pretty much almost immediately start the new one. So I start August. That's the gust. And sunny, and in that watermelon. And then there's a big flower that is over here. And a bunch of ants. There's like a little picnic blanket and then a bunch of ants all over it. So this one's a cutie too. And this is my second to last. I have this one and then September. And then I'm done. And that pattern will be passed along to someone. Okay. That was my one new start. My big new start, which I'm sure you guys can guess. Since I talked about it so much on my last video, I went ahead and I started Ella, the Frog Princess from Memorabilia. And I had discussed with all you guys the fabric situation that I had ordered this Sandy Pink Beaches fabric from an eBay seller. And, excuse me. Get a little bit of that allergy dry mouth there. Anyway, the first piece that she sent me, I ordered it in 32, which is what is usually called for Mirabilias. I ordered it in 32, and the seller had put the wrong apartment number, so I never got it. But I contacted her, and she said she had more, and she sent me out another piece, and I received it, but she sent me a 28. And it was an honest mistake. She was mortified. She was like, okay, what can I do to make it better? I can see if I have more 32. The problem with the 28 that she sent, it's not that that I don't want to stitch on 28, because I actually am stitched on 28. It was that the piece was way too small for the pattern, and I would only have like a really tiny margin, and I just didn't even want to deal with that. But she said she could see if she could get me a bigger piece of the 28. She didn't have any more 32, whatever. As I said in my last video, I did have this really big piece of kind of an appley, greeny, yellow 28 count, and I thought it would work on that color as well. So fate kind of made the decision for me, because she didn't have another piece of 32, and she wasn't sure if she had the 28, and honestly, I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to have to send back the piece I got to get a bigger piece. I mean, she was going to do it as an even exchange, even though it would be a bigger piece, but you know, the fabric that I got is pretty. I will have some use for it down the road, no problem there. And I just decided to go ahead and start, oops, I better pattern off, start Ella on that apple green. So here she is. And I did do the skin 1/1, that's her hand, which I'm enjoying. I think it's kind of interesting to do it that way. And I started in the center, and of course I had to work over till I could get to like the bright pinks and stuff. I think it's going to look really pretty on this fabric, so I am not unhappy with the way things turned out at all. As I said, I think fate stepped in and made my decision for me, so that was kind of nice. But I really am enjoying working on that. I worked on it probably 3 or 4 days this week. It was actually hard to set it aside. In fact, the only times I didn't work in it when I was on my Zoom calls and stuff, because it takes up, I do it on my lap stand or my table stand here, and then I don't have enough room for the computer as well. So okay, so aside from those 2 starts, I also Paul here. I worked on my counted canvas. As a reminder, I finished this. This is Lime by Needle Delights. And when I finished that, I was kind of like, well, what am I going to do with it? And then I thought it would be really cool to make a cube using 4 other colorways and the same pattern. And then the bottom, of course, I'm just going to do plain, because you know, I'll probably just do some kind of just a quick needlepoint patch thing. Anyway, so one of the colorways that I'm working on is sort of a peachy brown, and I just basically pulled flosses from my stash that were similar in the texture, because there's like four or five different flosses that are used. One of them's a silk, and one of them's a shiny, like satiny one, and then like her own watercolors, and then sort of a shiny, sparkly something. So yeah. So I would just pull different ones to make my different colorways. So this is the peachy brownie one. And I don't know if I actually have any new work on the blue, but this is the blue. I also have a pink colorway, and then I have kind of a rainbowy colorway that I'm going to be doing. And the rainbow's going to be on the top of the cube, and then the other ones are on the side. So I worked on that, and I worked a little bit more on my ABC. The seller just calls it ABC sampler, but to me it's like ABCs of activism. So I got C started, and then the D for democracy, and I'm doing this with EJ. I think EJ from Sunshine Stitchers. I think she's EJ Creates on Instagram, and she and I believe some other people started a SAL hashtag diversity and inclusion SAL, and I'm doing that for this. I'm doing this for that. And also along with it, the Representation Matters SAL. Okay. So that was all of my work that I did this past week. I don't have any haul. You know, I've told you guys I'm trying to be on a no-buy. And I've been pretty good. Last week, you know, I slipped a little bit and got a couple patterns, but yeah, I've been pretty good, so knock wood, I can stay that way. I said till August, so I have plenty of stuff to work on. I have my stuff kitted up for my planned start in July and my 2 planned starts in August. It's all kitted, so I'm good to go. I have all of these whips to work on, and then I will have those 3 additional patterns that will be put together, or will be started, you know, before September. Okay, so we are only 28 minutes in, and normally my videos are 40 minutes, so what's going to take up the rest of the time? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I have a huge giveaway package. Well, not a giveaway package. I'm doing, okay, I've been on FlossTube for a year, which is 12 months. I'm doing 12 giveaway items. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over them all with you guys now, and then I will pull the winners at the end of July, after I get back from my little mini vacation. So my mini vacation starts in the afternoon of Wednesday, July 15th, and I'll be back that Sunday. I don't know if I will be doing a video. I'm going to say I'm probably not going to be doing a video that week, at least my regular Sunday video, because I don't know exactly what time I'm going to get home, but I'm going to be tired, and I don't usually like doing videos after the morning. So, yeah, so that may be a skip. So next week you'll have the opportunity to, you know, well, actually, all of the comments need to be on this video. But next week I'll remind you guys, and then I will pull the winners either the week after I get back in my regular FlossTube, or I might just do like a midweek like winner pull, because there's so many of them. Yeah, so that's my plan. That'll give people about 2 or 3 weeks to put in their entries, and which I think is great, and then I'll be able to send all these out. Okay, so I have, as I said, I have 12 giveaways. 6 of them are patterns, and 6 of them are fabric and needle minders. And I know people a lot of times when they do multiple giveaways, they're like, you can only win once. I'm gonna say that that is true, except you can win a chart and a fabric. So if a name comes up twice and it's on a chart, no, they're only gonna get to win the first one. But if it comes on a chart and a fabric, then they can get both. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, so the first chart, and this is actually 2 charts. This is a Past the Stash. These are the 2 buttons and beads Mill Hill that I did for my friend Tracy. Now these are just the charts. There's no fabric or perforated paper, there's no floss, there's no beads, it's just the charts. So I understand if you're not really super interested in getting just the charts, but they're cute charts, and a lot of times people like to do these on fabric instead of perforated paper, so you could do that. However you want it. I'm just going to pass these along, and if you are interested in getting these 2 kits, so it's the Vino Bianco and Vino Russo. These little corner things are not included in the pattern, but they are patterns that you can get from 123 Stitch or any place that they sell Mill Hill. These were fun to do. They were done on kind of a caramel colored perforated paper. All of those supplies I know are available at 123 Stitch. So if you're interested in stitching these and don't mind kitting them up, then the code word for these 2 kits is wine. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one, I did this chart last year, and I didn't want to give it away because it was a gift. This was something that Erin from Two Martini Stitcher gave me last year for my birthday, I think. And it's such a cute little chart, but but I stitched it, and it's sitting on my shelf, and I thought, hey, let me pass on the love. It's called In the Pumpkin Patch by Val's Little Stuff. And she gave me a whole bag of stars that I used on this, so I think I'll throw in some of the stars if I can remember to do that. But I found my own leaf bead. Actually, I found a glass bead, so that was kind of cool. So if you are interested in this one, say pumpkin. In the Pumpkin Patch by Val's Little Stuff. Okay, third one. I just finished this, Suffragette by Little House Needleworks. There's plenty of time to stitch this before November and Election Day, which is kind of, if you want to join in on the sale with stitching with the Sisterlies. So this is the Suffragette Proclaimed. And this is a really fun chart to do. If you want this one, say suffrage. Okay, then we have Plum Street Samplers Clementine. I just finished this one recently as well. Grumpy Kitty. My Clementine's a boy, so I know Jules Moonshine Crafter, her Clementine is a hybrid of Clementine and her cat Artemis. I think her name's Artemis, Artie. So hers is a girl, but mine's boy. So if you want this pattern, then say Clementine. And, oh, no, not last. Okay, the next one is Gathering Honey by the Blue Flower. This pattern is amazing, you guys. I love this pattern so much. I just finished it on bright yellow fabric that I dyed. And it was totally fun to do. I did it on 22 count heart hanger, so the stitches were pretty tiny. But it's a really fun pattern. It's so pretty. I love all the bees and the little lady. I changed her totally. I made her dress different color and her hair was purple, and but this is a really great pattern. So Gathering Honey by Blue Flower. If you want this one, say honey. And last but not least, Halloween Cat by Satsuma Straight. This pattern was given to me as a gift by Robin from Bird's Eye Stitches, which was so sweet of her. But I had the pattern, obviously because it's so cute. She said that she totally thought of me. Well, she was right, because I already had it. So I am giving away one of them. So if you get this and you want to stitch it, maybe starting in October or something, we can do it together. And if you want this one, say cat. It's Halloween Cat by Satsuma Street. Say cat. Okay, so those are the patterns that are up for grabs. And then I thought, because I have dyed so much stuff, dyed so much fabric in the last year, and I enjoy it. And I had a bunch, you know, sitting in my stash that I dyed, and I was like, why? I don't need to hold on to this, because I can dye another piece, like to order for any pattern that I, you know, pull out. So I thought I'd pass along some of the stuff that I've dyed. So this is all Aida. I have different counts, but I'll tell you, all Aida and Hardinger. And then just to sweeten the deal a little bit, I am including one of my exclusive KarlaBeingCrafty needle minders with each piece. So, the first, they're all 13 by 17. So this first one is a 22 count Hardinger in a really pretty gold color, kind of a mustardy gold, very autumny. And because they are like hand dyed in a jar and stuff, they do have kind of like a different look on each side, so it gives you opportunity to pick. And then I'm including with that one this kind of like rectangle scalloped needle minder with some green sort of green colorway. Again, this is a 22 count Hardinger. If you want this piece, say gold. The second one, this is also a 22 count Hardinger. This is an orange piece. I did this one slightly different, and I got kind of a starbursty or spiral effect. I did it kind of using sort of a tie-dye technique. And along with it, there's a nice round needle minder that has some pinks in it. So if you want this one, say orange. This one is an 18 count Aida. It was dyed using a smoke gray color. It got really interesting modeling on it. It almost has a purple tone to it. So this gray has a lot of purpley in it, and there wasn't any, it wasn't dyed with any other color except the gray, but the purple in it did really come out. And this has a little teardrop shape needle minder with kind of pink tones in it. So if you are interested in this one, say gray. The next three are all variations of pinks. So I would want you to say 1, 2, or 3. So this is going to be 1. This is an 18 count Aida. This one was done with like a wine and a purple, I believe, or wine and blue, I'm not sure, but it came out with a lot of purple tones to it. And along with that is a little square needle minder with a lot of pink threads in it, or pink glitter and threads. This one would be the number 1. Okay, the next one is a 14 count Aida. This one is really pretty. That sort of dark wine color. The other side, it almost came out, it's funny, if you wanted to do small pieces, it's almost like two different, like that one or that side is a little bit less modelly or less white modelly, and then on the other side of the fabric you've got some nice really modeled places. So this one, again, it's an 18 count, and along with it I'm giving a star shaped needle minder. This is kind of all different colors in there. And all of these needle minders are my exclusive. They're Ort needle minders, so there's threads in all of them. This one, again, is 14 count, and if you are interested in this piece, it's number 2. And just put the number, don't write out 1, 2, or 3, because I'm going to be putting in the numerics, you know, 1 or 2 when I do the random comment generator picker thing. And then this is the last one. This is an 18 count Aida. This one is more pinky orangey, I think. It's got some peaches in there. It's still got some purples though. And I'm doing another one of the sort of scalloped little, kind of, it's a postage stamp, I guess is what the shape is supposed to be. And that one is, again, kind of rainbow, all different colors in there. So if you're interested in this piece, say 3. So, just to go over them again, the Mill Hill kits are wine. In the Pumpkin Patch by Val's Little Stuff is pumpkin. Suffrage Act is suffrage. Clementine is clementine. Gathering Honey, say honey. Satsuma Street's Halloween Cat, say cat. And then we have a gold piece of fabric, an orange piece of fabric, a gray piece of fabric, and then 3 pinks, pink 1, pink 2, and pink 3. So, I hope that you guys are excited about these. Oops. So yeah, I mean, I think that these came out really pretty, and there's lots of interesting things that can be stitched on them. All of these charts I've stitched, so I know that they're fun and that the results are really nice. So, okay, so that's my 1-year FlossTube anniversary giveaway extravaganza. You must be 18 so that I can send stuff to you. Please don't say giveaway. Don't say anything that's going to bring the trolls out. If you put that in your comment, I have to delete it so that, you know, these weirdos who go and search stuff just to kind of get free stuff, you know, don't glom onto my channel. Again, I have to give a big thank you, shout out to all of you guys who have supported me this past year. All of the friends that I've made, all of the floss tubers that I have enjoyed watching, all of you, I just want to give you a big mwah. And hopefully someday we'll get to see each other. I've seen a lot of you over Zoom calls now, which is you know, the pandemic has been horrible, but the fact that it has, you know, made us all realize that we can connect electronically, that has been, you know, the silver lining to the crappy cloud. So I will not see you guys before, I'll see you on the 5th of July. So I hope you have a happy and safe 4th of July. Don't shoot off all of those really loud bottle rocket things. Anybody who has dogs knows that those are just really horrible for dogs, and you know, I know they're fun to make a big noise, but these poor animals, my dog, 4th of July and New Year's, the poor thing, I wanted to give him a sedative because he was trembling for like a week, you know, it was terrible. So think about that before you go shooting everything off, and if you have to do it, then just do it on the 4th. Don't do it all 2 weeks leading up to it. I mean, it's terrible. Even my cat, who could care less about anything, around here, when those things go off, he like stops and he looks at me like, what the heck's going on? So yeah, so please be aware of that. I'm going to give you my PSA about wearing masks. The pandemic is not over. It's, you know, we've had rising cases in California, which is like super, super scary. So wear the masks. If you don't want to wear a mask, then fine. Stay inside. Don't go out. But if you're going to go out around other people, then wear a mask so that everybody can try and stay healthy and we can get this thing eradicated. So there's my little PSA. I hope you guys all have a wonderful week, and I look forward to the next year. Who knows what it's going to bring in the stitching world. You know, I'm constantly trying out new things. I know I had talked a big talk at the beginning of this year, 2020, about starting an Etsy shop, and that kind of all fell by the wayside when coronavirus hit. And you know, so I am less enthusiastic about doing that, but I'm sure that that will kind of rear its head again in the next, probably the next year, and I will get enthused to try and get that started again. In the meantime, I have fabrics to send out to people with some needle minders on them, so if you win one of those and you like the needle minder, then let me know, and yeah, and maybe you can help me promote it. Anyway, I think that's it for me today. Thank you for sticking with me for this year. Thank you for sticking with me through this video. And I hope that you all have a great, happy, safe 4th of July and week going forward. So until I see you again next week, please remember to always be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.